Hello and welcome to this Q3 2023 update for Broadoaks, Downham Market. So today I thought we'd run through the programme, which is a bit more informative. Whilst on site there's obviously groundworks complete and underway, but really this is drill into the detail of how the site comes together over the coming months. So I'm going to walk you through the construction plan that we're working with the greater team. This is reduced quite extensively. Obviously the main construction plan is a very elaborate document. So just for this purpose, I've taken out some of the first fix, second fix of all the different disciplines and really just left the key elements so you can get a good feel for where we are now and where we're going. So starting where we are right now, you can see we've obviously ran through all the obvious sort of setup parts. Work started well on site at the start of the year. We obviously had a good result with the archaeological, found no issues there. And then we carried on then preparing the land. We've cleared the site. We've got the temporary access from the highway, and we've got the haul roads complete. Earthworks phase 1 was complete, and then we ran the initial services into the site. The sewers, we carried out the first phase, and then we're working on the pumping station and section 78 roadworks. The electrical and infrastructure was designed, completed, signed off, and then that's now underway. And then the earthworks for the phase 1 as well, section B, was also carried out. So at this point, we needed the council on board, because a big part of obviously the site is access on and off. So what we couldn't do is have a build programme that ran ahead of the delivery of the island. That would leave us with completed units on site without illegal access on and off the site. So I'm pleased to say now that that's finally been signed off. It has been delayed, and on that basis we're not as far forward on the site as we planned to be at this point. However, we've re-engineered the programme, and we can still make great progress over the coming months leading into next year, and we're really looking now to bring back some of that time we lost working with the council to get the island underway. The design of the roundabout and the sign-off is now complete, and then as you can see from the programme here, the trajectory for the roundabout basically sort of starts and then finishes around the December time for works on site. So that then is going to be working through to June 24 for delivery of the roundabout. So that then now syncs in with our phase 1 plot works running through, and then here you can start to see the plot numbers coming into play, and then we're basically working through plot A 1 and then plot B 1. And then each one of those has obviously got its groundworks running into the superstructure for each particular unit. Once the superstructures are in place, obviously, and all these different plots, they're not individual units from the point of view of we don't run all the groundworks and then all the plot works and then all the superstructures. As we're completing each superstructure, we're obviously moving in then to do first fix and then moving forward to second fix. So this will work us through. So basically you can see these units going back to delivery, plot 235, and then we head back up. That then takes us back to that June delivery for the summer next year. And then ongoing then, there will be units delivered pretty much every week moving forward as we work our way through these phases, and then we get into the second phase. That's plot 1B. I hope you found that insightful. The programme was obviously a blunt way of showing you where we are now and then where we're going and what point deliveries start happening. I appreciate that it was quite vague. I've had to strip out a lot of really the detail of the programme, but hopefully it gave you an insight to where we are. In as a snapshot, the roundabout was delayed, signing off with the council. So we made really good progress on site early year. We've then slowed, waiting for sign off. That sign off's now happened. So Tarmac are now instructed to bring the roundabout forward, and their time trajectory for delivery, i.e. where we can get on and off site for completions, now dovetails into our June 24 first completions and first handovers. So we're looking to make up some time on that, but again, really held ransom to when we can get on and off the site based on Tarmac's works finishing the roundabout. And obviously if that happens before June, then we'll be working alongside them to make sure that our deliveries fit alongside that. I hope you found that useful. We look forward to seeing you again for the Q4 update, the last update of the year. At that point, I'll most likely be back on site, and then we can have a look around. Thank you. Mortgages. Obviously a key part of the purchase transaction for many of our buyers, whether they be investors or owner-occupiers. I sit down with the mortgage team once a week, get a bit of an insight into where the market is, where the products are leading, and then generally taking a view of what we think is the best way forward for products for our clients. We talk to a lot of lenders, a lot of institutions, and get a great oversight into the mortgage market and where it's heading. So I sat down with Del, one of our senior mortgage consultants, to get an insight into where we are currently. Hi, Del.
Hi.
So lots of mortgage rate increases ongoing over the last year particularly. Where are we with mortgage market at the moment and lenders?
Yeah, so obviously we're aware that the rates have gone up quite a few times. So the base rate has actually gone up about 13 times in the last 9-10 months. So, it has been a slightly tough situation for some people. However, we had some good news about a month ago where the inflation rate came down by more than expected. So that meant that the market was boosted. So
better deals were available?
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, so they actually felt that the rates were going up continuously even further due to the fact that the inflation wasn't coming down as quick as they actually wanted it to. However, because it came down by quite a large amount, there was actually more confidence in the market.
Okay.
So a lot of the lenders, you will notice, even if you read the tabloids, they've actually reduced their rates in the last month and a half, and even they're continuing to do that as well.
Okay. So lenders are becoming more competitive, and where are you seeing sort of typical rates at the moment for buy-to-let investors?
Obviously, it will depend on what kind of client, what kind of scenario. So obviously, we have, expats, we have foreign nationals, we have people who, live in the UK as well. So it can actually vary for each one. However, I would say around the 5.5 mark is kind of where we're sitting at. If you're looking at, say, maybe like an average, possibly.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so that doesn't sound too bad, and particularly on the basis that rates are looking to come down. So we're still seeing rental coverage at that sort of level. Yeah. And I think something that we looked at very recently, Del, when we did an exercise around the additional costs from a mortgage perspective. So say if a client bought from us in 2021, taking that 2-year period up to sort of delivery now, so the type of mortgages that you're working on now, yes, rates have gone up since September 21 to September 23, but what we've looked at is the differential between that cost of mortgage increase due to the rate and the additional yield, i.e. the additional rental value that property is generating. And what we found was that you've pretty much neutralised any increase in interest uptick.
Yeah, true, absolutely. So we had a brief discussion a few days ago. So the rental market is very, very strong at the moment, as you're aware. And apparently you've got a waiting list for every single property, so of about 20 to 25 people. So like I said, the rental market is very, very strong, and it has gone up every year. It generally goes up every year anyway, but in the last year it's gone up by a larger amount.
Sure.
So any kind of any kind of rate increase is kind of offset with the rental going up by a larger amount, possibly.
Sure. Okay. And am I right in saying that there's still a lot of products, so i.e. Rate dependent, but there are products for pretty much any type of lender, borrower, any type of buy-to-let investor, owner-occupier. So the market's competitive. I'm not putting words in your mouth, but you tell me. My understanding is from our ongoing discussions, obviously we sit down at least once a week.
Yeah.
We don't seem to have a problem with finding products for our investors and owner-occupiers as I say, rate dependent, but certainly there's a lot of products out there.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I mean, there's new lenders on the market almost every other month, so that shouldn't really be a problem at all. So I personally, my background being a broker a few years ago, there's actually lenders which I hadn't heard of. So recently that I've actually come across. So they're actually in the market, and they're in the market in a strong way.
Okay. So you're finding more sort of specialist lenders, and are we particularly for the Prosperity client, are we using more high street banks, specialist lenders, or a mix of both?
It can be a mix of both, to be honest with you. Again, depends on the actual clientele. So let's say, for example, someone's a foreign national, there may be specialist lenders out there for them.
Okay.
There may be different kind of lenders for, depends on the actual scenario.
Sure.
But, maybe let's say a year ago there were a pool of maybe a larger number of products available, but they're actually coming back to that level soon.
Okay.
So, yeah, admittedly, maybe about 2 months ago, there was quite a lot of maybe scaremongering in the market. So you get so-called experts saying that this is going to happen, the rate's going to go up, and X, Y, Z. But if you listen to the actual experts, the rates probably will come down.
Okay.
in about a year, towards maybe 2025.
Okay.
So that may not be ideal for every single client, but to be honest with you, after 2 years, let's say, for example, if you did a 2-year fixed rate, after 2 years, it may well return back to what it was, 9-10 months ago. There's no reason why not.
Okay. So at the moment, then, obviously, you've got a lot of competitive lenders in the market. So lots of products, and the fixed rate is ultimately showing us that if it's lower than the base rate, the fixed rates are showing us that the lenders believe within that window of time, whether it be 2 years, 3 years, rates are going to come down, because obviously otherwise they wouldn't offer rates lower than the base rate.
That is a brilliant point. So generally, I think people feel if the base rate is a certain figure, then any kind of fixed rate offered will be higher.
Sure.
Which may have been the case about 2 months ago or 3 months ago. But that was a period of about a month. There was a lot of uncertainty. However, it's starting to level itself off now.
Okay.
So even if, for example, the base rate is 5+, you may get rates of around about 5 or 4.5. So in another year and a half, the base rate, I believe, most people believe, will come down.
Sure.
So if that comes down to, let's say, even 3, there hopefully will be products available at 3, 2.5.
Okay.
So we're back to where we were maybe 9-10 months ago.
Okay.
So it's something to actually look forward to.
Sure. Okay. I think that gives us a bit of an insight. The takeaway when I talk to Del, as I say, and the team on a regular basis, is that certainly there's lots of products in the market. There's lots of lenders with a lot of appetite to lend. So the kind of, the base of mortgage lending is very much intact and still very competitive. We haven't got a crystal ball, but certainly I think there's a general belief that rates maybe somewhere near the peak. We may see another interest rate or another couple of interest rate rises, but the market's telling us that the overall trajectory is down, and down over the next 2 years. If you look at where the fixed rate mortgage money is at the moment, I think that at the moment, you've got that additional cost when it comes to completing right now. But as I say, that's offset greatly by the additional rental income that we're now receiving on these properties across the board, ranging from, if we go back to the predicted rates at the point of purchase, 2021, we're seeing anywhere between 17 and 21% increase based on when those properties now come to the market. So that additional rental income is a definite cushion to cover that additional interest rate cost. So on the whole, we don't want to say it's a positive situation, but there are positives here from a property investment perspective. I think primarily underpinned by that additional rental value that we're seeing in the market. Moving forward, obviously with that trajectory of a lower interest rate, if you're buying off plan currently, then you're looking forward to lower rates and potentially even higher rental yields. So the outlook is positive for people that are in the off plan purchasing position at the moment. Thanks, Del. Appreciate that.
No problem.
We'll
Thank you very
no
much.
doubt catch up again on Monday, and you can tell me what the latest rates are and latest products, and we'll have another update.
Absolutely.